Occupy Wall Street was back in New York over the weekend, and that is because it was the 6-month anniversary. Lots of marches, protests, etc. And of course, New York cops clamping down as always. How dare they enter Zuccotti Park, which is, by the way, a private public park, meaning that they can absolutely enter it under normal laws. But apparently normal laws don't apply in New York anymore, so 73 arrests. Now, during the arrest disaster, a supporter named Cicely McMillan, supporter of the protests, suffered a seizure after the NYPD tackled her and then tied her hands with the plastic cuffs. As she was having the seizure, they, for a long time, did not remove the cuffs. As the protesters were screaming that she's having a seizure, they apparently broke her ribs while tackling her. All this classy stuff. And then Jesse Meyerson of Truth Out wrote in observing what the police were doing in New York, said, quote, "I watched the police break up the group by punching protesters about the head, repeatedly stomping on shoulders and arms, grabbing throats, dragging protesters by the hair, and clawing at their faces." Sounds great. And then, of course, we have video as well. One of the medics was marching along just as everyone else was. And we can't tell why in this video. He seems to randomly be assaulted by cops. Let's watch and see for yourself here.
This guy's head against the door. No justice! No peace! Window. So this is, the cops just smashed somebody against this door. He just slammed his head against
All right, that's nice. They get off their scooters, smash this guy's head into the wall. He's a medic, but he couldn't help himself because, of course, he was also handcuffed. Sean Carey wrote, "Police broke my left thumb and possibly my jaw." This is just lovely activity, but my favorite is from Jeff Charlotte, who wrote, "At what point can we call this a police riot? Broken bones, broken windows, blood on the streets." None of the protesters were rioting. None of them were violent. The police attacked them, both at Zuccotti Park and in other parts of the city, as you just saw there. That was not Zuccotti Park. Smashed their heads into the walls, broke their bones, etc. I mean, we've turned this thing on its head, where we have police riots. So, you know, it has galvanized the Occupy movement to some degree. There were also protests in sympathy in LA, Oakland, Chicago, Boston, and more on Sunday evening following these clashes. And the Occupy movement so far, of course, has done a lot in changing the conversation in this country, in bringing awareness to income inequality. And then, of course, they literally saved some people's houses when they moved into the houses and helped them avoid foreclosure. So they've done a lot of good. But, of course, the cops in New York hate them because the head of the police in New York wines and dines with the top bankers. And apparently, and in fact, they even have a command center near Wall Street that is manned both by the New York cops and by security agents for the financial industry. So the state, again, has merged with business, and if you even complain about those financial interests, well, your head will get smashed into a window, and perhaps, you know, your ribs will get broken. It's great to see our government protecting us in our democracy. How's that working out for us? We don't have representative democracy anymore. Our politicians and our government officials are bought by the 1%. That is what Occupy is protesting. That is why they're 100% right on their core issue.